And so just to give you a little bit of background, Thomas and I have been working for the last, well, coming up 2 years now on
Just on this.
just on the old LFN. Like, I mean, that it started back in the 1980s, and it was put together by Francisco Cole for the leadership. You know, it's like advanced courses and stuff. And it's been very slow. Not many people have actually done the whole thing. It's only been done once in Australia and once in New Zealand, and I was part of that back in the 90s. So what Thomas and I have been doing is we've revamped it, modernized it, the whole thing. The originally LFN was group work and courses.
Oh, okay.
And there were 26 courses. There were going to be 52, but it only got up to 26. So that's why. And so what happens is, and we'll explain a little bit more about this later, is that there's group work for 2 weeks, and then there's a course, and then another 2 weeks of group work, and then a course. And in the group work, we work with the calendars, with the maps, looking at regrouping the past, looking at the future, and the present. Okay. So anyway, we'll get into a little bit more of that in a minute. So what we thought we'd do is just give you a taste for what was La Familia Nuestra has been renamed as Universal Family. Which is for online. It's the same thing as LFN, but it's online, and it's been updated by us, really. And Francisco, I mean, Tiger has overseen it, and it's all good.
Oh, sorry about that. So you two actually rewrote it? You two?
Yes,
did. Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah.
We didn't actually rewrite it. We just kind of modified it here and there.
Modernized it, updated it.
Because some things were, you know, it's too much like a jargon, like only people who had been involved for a long time would know what it meant. So we kind of, you know, put it in regular English language. And a lot of things referred to the old system, the old Americana Leadership College system that involved people getting involved with leadership. And that doesn't happen anymore. So we had to do that as well. And there was originally it is meant to be its own movement, and it had its own introductory lecture and its own you know, its own courses and structure and all that. It was first published. There was just a brochure that Francisco Cole, original Francisco, put out. It was just a brochure, and it was everything that you needed to know to do LFN. So if you haven't seen that, we could send that to you. We could send it to you as like a PDF.
I don't know if I've seen that. That would be great.
You would.
I'm not sure.
If you, yeah. Okay, so you probably have. So we'll send that to you, and it just explains what it actually has the group structure in it. You know, where we just go through. It explains the whole group structure and the courses and the program itself. Basically, its own movement. If you remember, like Inner Peace Movement. Was a movement,
right?
The and all that stuff. So yeah.
So it started off during the original course 100, and the original course 100 was about 12 hours long. So we've divided it up into 3 separate courses. So what we're going to give you a taste of today is we divided it up into 100A, 100B, and 100C. Okay, so we're just going to give you a little bit of a taste. And oh, by the way, this is being recorded, if that's okay with you.
Well, that's fine.
Okay, so we can send it to you anyway, and you can just listen again if you miss something. Because there are some other people around that are interested, and so we thought, well, we'd use this opportunity, if it's okay with you, to record it, and then we can pass it on.
Yeah.
Of course.
Okay, so we're going to give you a little bit of taste for 100A. Which is an hour and a half long, and it has how many slides?
14 maybe. Okay. What we'll do is we'll share the screen, and this is 100A. This would be like the introduction to the introduction.
So the original course 100
Oh.
said, introduce into La Familia Nuestra, a new outlook at life. So we've kept that last part, and it's called Introduction to Universal Family. And that's the logo that we designed, or Thomas designed.
Mhm.
And so it's how many slides? Go down.
16, one of 16. Well,
Okay, yeah.
14 slides actually.
Okay, so we're just going to show you the first slide.
So this is basically, yeah, how it works.
So it's like an orientation lecture, just to get people, or give people an idea for what is involved, if it's for them or not. So Thomas, you want to read that one?
Okay. Universal Family Orientation Lecture. People who are interested in this program have been searching for a long time. What they're really searching for is a balance between their physical and spiritual worlds to experience the full richness of life. They are sensitive to the energies around them and want to know and understand more.
Okay, so what impression do you get from that then, Christina?
I get the impression that for lifetimes, people who come synchronistically to this have been seeking for lifetimes how to balance this. And some lives we get it, some lives we don't. And one is lucky enough karmically to connect.
Yes.
It's true.
So it's true though, isn't it? We're all sensitive, and sometimes you take down the thing. Sometimes we feel on the go, ready to do something, and all goes well. Other times it feels slower. So this is, as you know from the calendars, how there are 7 different energies. So in this introduction, we do, how many of these? We do, I think 2 of the energies, just to give a bit more detail and tell people about the concepts and what they are. So it's helped people to understand why. So sometimes they feel like doing more than other days, and I'm sure you've tuned into that already with having had the calendars anyway.
I have favorites like regrouping, and then there's some I'm sort of clueless about, like family and friendship. I'm kind of like out to lunch.
That's good.
So in the weekly group work, we look at the energies for the past week and how we've worked with them, and how exactly how it worked for us. And the same with the future week, next week, what the energies are coming up and what we need to be aware of and be alert to, and so on.
Yeah. And the reason for the group work too is also you're hearing other people's opinions about, you know, like you saying, I don't know about family. Well, for somebody else, they say, oh, I love family energy, and this is what happens, and blah, 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 blah. And then when you hear what they have to say about it, you go, oh yeah, that makes sense now. And that's how it works. You know, that's about the only way to learn this stuff, is by trial and error and going through it and hearing what other people have to say. And that's the real magic of it. It's it's just that simple. And it takes a while, and because you're not going to learn it all at once, because it's always changing. You know, like the energy is always changing. There's always a different concept. And, you know, like you have the one concept like Fred with family and Fred with action energy. It's always different. You know, wow. But, you know, once you get the hang of it, it starts to become like a second nature sort of thing. And that's the only way to really work with it, is to have it be part of your inner being, where it's just natural. And if you try to keep it up in your intellect and try to understand it, it just doesn't work, because it just becomes a mess. But if it's in your feelings, and it works.
And as Thomas was talking, it reminded me of, as you know, we've just come back from the States, where we've done quite a bit of traveling, and without actually really trying, as it turned out, every time we were traveling, it was in direction energy. So it was like magic.
Interesting.
Really.
Yeah. It's almost like when you start working with this stuff and become more conscious of it, you sort of line up with the energy of what, you know, like the planet Earth. You actually get in tune with it, and you start going with the flow of it more, and things just start. It just becomes sort of magical in a way.
So another part of that course 100A, some of the other things we look at are
Well, the basic,
not just energies and concepts, but the difference between emotions and feelings,
yeah.
which is a big part of the courses,
Well,
and the concepts. Yeah.
So we'll show you the chart right now. This is like
Oh yeah, the chart. Yeah.
This is
I took a course on that at camp one time, but I don't know if it's the same thing, but it was a course on what's the difference between emotion and feelings.
You take course 100 where you're walking through the maze?
No, you're talking about emotions and feelings, I think.
Or you
I don't know. I don't remember the details. I don't.
Okay. All right. Well, let's show you. We'll show you this here.
Oh, yeah, you're right. Yeah.
So
okay. Here's the orientation.
This is
lecture chart.
Energy charts. Okay, so if you can see this, the colorful thing, that's all about the energy flowing through planet Earth. All the different colors, you know, like action and friendship, direction, regrouping. And you know, it's just that's the energy flowing through planet Earth, flows in, flows out. And then this is the universe, you know, like our big home. And then we cover the first 7 years. We cover the cycles of life, but mostly with the first 7 years, because that's where all our programming got in, and that's where all the fun started. And it's when how the concepts hit us, you know, like with Sam or those concepts, the negative ones. And it's only as we talk about in the 100C. There's only about 3 or 4 that hit us, but it's recognizing where that comes from, and it's from those first 7 years. Yeah.
Would that be called the blocks in the blockage profile?
It can be a block.
Yeah, it could be. And sometimes it's just a little, well, not even a block, but it's just like, oh no, you better not go there. You better not do. No, they don't want to do that. You know, it's just like a discouraging thought rather than a block, and you just don't do it. And yeah. It's a lot of these things are just so subtle, we don't even notice them. And that's why it takes a while to sort it out. And then we go into the 3 loyalties, you know, self, our body, and our environment. And then life purpose, this is a symbol for life purpose, because it all focuses on life purpose, because why are we here? And this is a symbol for earth, you know, our arena, I call it the stage, you know, all the world's a stage. It's where the maze is. It's where all our learning, it's our school. And then past, present, and future, we regroup the past, we plan for the future, and we live in the present. You know, so, and how that all, how does that work in with all this stuff? And then here we have the symbol of balance of, you know, thought and feelings. And these 2 megaphones are our emotions. It's how we communicate. So it's all part of that, and how this all works together to work with all the energies, our purpose, our loyalty, how this all works together to one. And then these are all the concepts, the figures for the concepts that come into our life and make it more interesting. You know, it gives us our challenges, and it's what we are. And, you know, we wouldn't be, there you go. That's the one. And yeah, so that's all.
So this introductory lecture, we go into those symbols in more detail.
Yeah.
We did a course 100B, like a bridge between A and 100C, because there are a lot of people who, although they're sensitive to energies and are interested in it, don't know anything about Weishau's college or cleansing or whatever. So we've put together a little workshop as a bridge going into cleansing, the gifts, and so on, you know. But you wouldn't have to do that because, you know, you've got all that.
Yeah.
So we put together then the 100C, which is a 4-hour workshop, which can be condensed a little bit if there's not many people. But can you bring that one up? Looks more into the energies and concepts in more detail.
So this would be the first slide for that.
So philosophy. First of all, we look at the philosophy. The philosophy of universal family is that you are already perfect. You're a spiritual being. You are positive energy. You've always been and will always be energy in motion. So now we look a bit more at the framework of LFN / Universal Family by looking at the philosophy and
Policies and procedures.
policies. Yeah.
And
then we go into each of the energies in more detail and look at the concepts in more detail. Not all of them, because there are 20 of them,
yeah.
but we look at 4 in particular in more detail. Okay. So that you can really get a good feel for it. But, you know, as Thomas said, really understanding the energies and concepts is a vital part of what people get out of the group work sessions, because they're actually actively working with them all the time.
Yeah, and even though there's 20 concepts, each person, each one of us is only affected really, you know, in a big way by only about 4 of them, 3 or 4. So you just have to know that, find out the 3 or 4 that are yours, and then the ones that are going to, you know, your friends and all, and the ones that give you the most trouble, and just concentrate on them. You don't have to learn all 20 of them, but you know, we do have all 20 of them in it. You know, it's like we can recognize it all, but there's only 3 or 4 that gives us our big troubles.
Yeah, that's going to affect us, and you can be more aware of them.
Yeah,
really ahead of time. That's the key, isn't it?
Yeah.
Being prepared ahead of time.
Yeah.
So, and part of this workshop is that last hour, that last session, we take you through an actual group work session, what it's like and what actually happens, so that people get a good feel for what they can get out of it, and if it's what they want to do, really. Yeah. So, any other questions on your part?
Oh, yes, a few. So in the write-up, let's see if I can find it. Oh yeah. So
I don't know what that is. Oh, okay, I got you. Yep.
Yeah, that one. Okay, it says, please refer to the full version of the new outlook on life. Is that a book, or does it still exist? It says, please refer to in the description. I think I had this in 2016, 2015, 2014, because there have been the odd year that I ordered the whole shebang, but I knew I wasn't getting everything I could out of it. I knew there was more there that I just couldn't wrap my head around, because it's a really big perspective, right? So yeah, so it said, please refer to. So is there something new, outlook on life, a book or booklet? Or no idea? Okay, then the other thing is, I'm interested in any courses, by the way, in this, and there was something about sub-themes. I guess the sub-themes would be the
when you look at the calendar for each month, what that's referring to is the 5 words that go with it. That's what they're referring to there.
I think that's on the level 3. I'm not sure if they're on the level 2 or not. I don't know.
Right.
So what calendars you got at the moment? Level 1.
Okay, right now, because I knew I wasn't getting everything I could out of it, and I didn't know that you 2 were available, I just went with level 1 this year. I would have done the whole shebang if I had known.
Yeah. So I'm
just
not sure that I'll just check if for September.
You get the 5 words as well?
If you get the 5 words that go with the theme of the month,
or does it just give you the 1 word? Look on
I don't know. I don't know what the 5 words are. No.
Have you got your calendar?
Suggested words? Does it say suggested words? Because we actually
suggested words. That sounds familiar. Maybe in other years that was there. I should have a look at that.
We just haven't seen. We've always got level 3. That's all. So that would be it. At least with level 3, there's 5 suggested words that kind of go along with it.
Is it possible? Okay, so if I take the course, but I'm only at level 1, how does that change what I'm getting? And maybe I
Oh,
should
you
just
you
upgrade.
could get those 5 words from, you know, the Wayshore's philosophy that comes
Oh,
out of,
yes, yes.
that has
Yeah.
those 5
Yeah.
words
It
in
has,
it.
has the words on it and the little paragraph goes with each
Yeah,
one.
just look at the Wayshore's philosophy.
Mm,
But that's, I
Oh,
think
okay.
they're referring to. Yeah,
mm.
you can get them. And get the
Oh,
Wayshore,
okay.
you get the Wayshore's
Yeah.
philosophy?
Oh, yes, I do. And I get test tube, and I also
Oh,
get
All right, yeah.
this year I'm doing the other one. Oh, what is it?
On the sky.
School in the Sky. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Good.
So I don't know if there's any courses how they all work together, because it's like the pillars
No,
that,
that's it.
for
No,
years it's been.
What you got is it.
That's it.
You, between you and
okay.
your guidance, work it out with you.
Oh,
Whatever
okay.
you want to do.
So with this universal family,
Mhm.
the 100A is $20 and the 100C is $80. So it would be $100 altogether. And then if you wanted to do the group work and courses, then each group session is $15 and each course is $65. And we've done it, split it up into the first 10 as a package. So they'll be discounted if you chose to do the first 10.
First 10 courses.
First 10 courses, which also includes the 2 weeks of group work in between. Okay, but we'd explain more of that in if you were to do the 100C, you know, yeah.
Yeah, you explain it more. Yeah.
And how does that change since I'm only doing level 1 this year? Because should I just upgrade or
Well,
ask
that's
if I
up to you
can?
to decide. I'm not.
That would be interesting because, well, we would show you the calendars. We do that as part of the regrouping.
Well, that
but
would
you-
be your choice. I think because you've got calendars, I think at this point that's enough.
The best reason for having the calendars is you can use them for your planning for the coming month, you know, the year. You can set yourself up, you know, that's the reason for having the calendars, is to plan your future better. So, I mean,
It's
Yeah.
something I
It's
think you
just
should
up to you.
decide really. I mean, you do have some, so at this point that's fine. Mm.
Yeah, because I've ordered it. Well, I've done it 1, 2, 3, 4 times previously. For the whole year, the whole thing. So
Yeah.
I'm familiar with all the terms, and
Right, good. Yeah.
I learned a lot. Like, for example, whenever there's an angel, I meet the most extraordinary sacred person or being or experience. I look forward to those days.
yeah.
So there's certain symbols that I know and I feel, and you know, because of that, even without the calendar, I can go, oh, it's regrouping day, you know, even
Right.
though some years I didn't have it, because I'm getting familiar with those things.
Well,
Yeah.
we have some people in Australia who are also interested in doing the 100A and C. So if you were interested, then we could work on setting a date and a time that would suit everybody.
Yeah.
Okay.
With time differences. So yeah. So what's your feeling at this point?
Yeah, I would like to do it. So it's groups and courses, yeah. And let's see. Yes, I want to. What do I do?
Yeah, well, we'll get back in touch with you.
Yeah, we'll just stay in touch.
So your availability is the same as you let us know earlier in the previous.
What works best for you? Just let me know, and I can. My time is quite flexible, so I can probably, you know.
Okay, great. So we'll get together with the other people. It may take us a week or two, but we'll stay in touch. And yeah, so that'd be exciting, wouldn't it, to have a Northern Hemisphere and the Southern Hemisphere group going?
That would be cool.
Yeah.
Cover the whole globe.
So do you have any other questions, or you feeling good?
I guess my other question was just, it said, okay, in the paperwork, it says there's some work that's done like at the end of the month and at the end of the year. So I guess that would be taken up in the course. We would take up.
Just a regrouping.
That's not us. That's not the universal family structure. That's something.
Oh, okay.
But yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. All right. Well, I'll figure it out. When in the courses, these questions will come up. Right now I'm too
Yeah.
disorganized.
Yes,
Yeah, and if you have any questions, just you can
yeah,
just
you can
email
just
us.
email. Yeah.
Oh, all right.
It's easier for us because not looking at that particular piece of paper. It'd be easier to look at it and discern what it was talking about, referring to.
Right.
Yeah. So yeah.
Okay. Yes. So I want to do it. Yes.
Okay, good.
Good.
All right.
So-
So we'll do some work at this end and to see if we can get it together.
Yeah.
And I'm sure we
Great.
will.
Great. Looking forward to it.
Yeah, likewise. Okay, nice to meet you.